I think I could call this Chanchanko, which is Japanese traditional quilted vest. But in order to make it quickly and with materials that I had on hand, I came up with my original way to create the look. I used this pre-quilted fabric to line the vest, and put a piece of leftover fleece fabric to create this puffy collar band which is typical with these vests. The pattern is pretty simple, mostly rectangles, so it's easy to adjust sizes. I made this on my daughter's request and I think she is pretty happy with it. These are the measurements I used for my daughter, who wears a size meant for 8 to 10 years old. Her shoulder to shoulder measurement is 12 inches. If you want to make other sizes, please use this diagram as a reference to figure out your own numbers. But these numbers are really flexible and you can probably figure out the size of the main piece rectangle by wrapping the fabric around yourself. Main piece fabric is folded in half at the center back. Measure 1.5 inches diagonally for the guide to draw a curve. But this is a design feature I added for wearing ease, and not all Chanchanko vests have curved front. Measure 2 inches on either side of the center back notch. It adds up to 4 inches for the neck opening. For a toddler size, I used 3 inches neck opening instead of 4. If I was making this vest for an adult, I would use 5 inches here. I pinned the folded edge to cut out the armhole opening. Measure 1 inch from the folded edge and 10 inches down for a kid size. I used 8 inches for a toddler size, and I would use more than 12 inches for an adult size. The armhole openings on these vests are supposed to be pretty big. These cutout pieces are going to be the front ties later, so don't throw them away. This is the pre-quilted fabric I used to line the vest. Pin the outer fabric to the lining around armholes and along the hem. Cut around the outer edges. Measure the front and the back neck opening where you are going to sew the neckband. I decided that the neckband should stop at about 4 inches from the bottom hem. I measured 44 inches for me, and I wanted to make sure my neckband pieces are long enough with seam allowances, so I added about 4 inches to the measurement to cut out the neckband. I cut fleece layer in the same length but ½ inch narrower in width, and I cut the overlay piece about 3/4 of the main collar band piece in length. My main collar piece is made of 2 pieces sewn together at the center back. I did this to save fabric and to make this project almost zero waste, but you can also cut this piece on fold. Align the center backs of the collar and the overlay and sew the overlay to the collar. I hope you understood what I did there. It was a bit hard to explain in words. I'm not attaching the fleece layer yet, but I'm just demonstrating the collar structure here. So the fleece layer will be inside like this to give the puffiness to the collar. Back to the main bodice piece. Starting at the top, sew around the armhole at 1/4 inch from the cut edge. Then cut the lining close to but not exactly at the cut edge of the outer fabric. By not cutting at the exact same place, it creates smoother look from the outside. Clip into seam allowances at the curve close to the stitching, but being careful not to cut the actual stitches. Push all the seam allowances to the lining side and understitch. This step is not necessary, but gives a cleaner finish. This is where the collar band stops. Start here and sew around the hem at 1/2 inch from the edge. At the markings for where the collar band ends, make careful clips very close to the ends of the stitching. Then iron the armholes and the hem. To attach the shoulder seams, pin as you see in this video. When you sew, start at 1/2 inch from the edge of the front shoulders and stop at 1/2 inch from the other edge. Align the center back of the bodice and the center back of the collar, but pin the collar at about 1/2 to 1 inch from the body center back edge. Then continue to the front edges. Lay the fleece piece and sew over the previous stitch. I trimmed the fleece piece a little bit more so that it's 1/2 inch narrower than the collar band piece. For toddlers and kids' vests, shoulder tucks are a cute and functional feature. This is similar to gross tucks in Victorian dresses. Mark 4 inches down in the middle of the shoulder seams, both in front and back. Pinch the markings and sew about 5/8 to 3/4 of an inch from the fold.
Ta-da! Here you go, Mama.
Oh, arigatou.
The trash.
Trash? Thank you. やったー